Hey, what's up? So I just want to make this video about some things that I got going on in my life right now that I think are interesting, but and I don't really have anyone to share it with, but I do have this YouTube channel. So, um, I make not a lot of videos. I mean, I make a few of them for sure. And yeah, and so part of this is just kind of like updates on some of the stuff. Sometimes people do ask me for updates on some of the videos that I make, and so I just thought I would make this one. So, anyways, um, the last one of the last videos that I made was about, or some of the last videos that I made were about relationships. I mean, and one of them had to do with a relationship that I have um, with my boss at work and stuff like that, and how things kind of turned sour. And after I had made that video, and there was a part at the end when I know that I said like something like like damage was done to the relationship, and I didn't feel that it was going to be possible to repair the relationship. And but then, and when I said it, there was a part of me that thought, oh, I wonder, is that negative, right? I mean, like, because, yeah, I mean, always looking for the best way to handle a situation, right? And certainly, taking things personally is not necessarily the best approach, but so I reflected on it for a while. But at the end of the day, I thought, oh, was that the right thing? Maybe that wasn't the right thing to say. But then I thought about other instances in my life when I've had dealings with people where there was, say, like a breach of trust, where it's like, when you really count on somebody and they're not there for you or something, and then all of a sudden it's just like it's hard to trust a person because it's like you realize that things aren't what you thought they were. And so, and then I've tried in the past to rekindle certain friendships with people after certain things have happened, but at the end of the day, it seems the like what comes up is it's like sometimes in a relationship too much has happened to go back. I mean, and it's just that it's not that it's impossible. Maybe if the friendship is there, but if it's not really, I mean, it's hard to just like it's like things won't go back to the way that they were because of what happened. I mean, and the analogy that I have used to describe that type of a scenario is it's like a dog that gets hit by a truck. I mean, and doesn't die. And so maybe that, like the dog will continue living and whatnot, but it won't be the same as before. I mean, and sometimes if the animal is hurt badly enough, then it may be wise to have it put down, right? And it's a sad thing. And I will just say that, you know, as a result of what I went through and yeah, of everything that I went through, I guess what at the end of the day, it was like, well, now things have gone from, I used to enjoy my work environment, but now it's like because I feel like I'm being watched because I was told that I was being watched, that I wasn't doing enough. I don't feel, it feels like a hostile environment now. It's like I don't I feel like instead of it being just like friendly doing your best, now it's like I'm always concerned that I'm not doing enough, that I'm being judged, and that I have to like overperform. I have to push myself. It's gone from being an enjoyable thing to something that is, I can't wait till it's over because I'm just not enjoying myself anymore. because there's that element, without that element of trust there, um, a friendship, I don't know, it's kind of hollow, I suppose. So that's how I've come with that. And, just in place of what it was, I've just essentially embraced this idea that it's just business. I mean, it doesn't mean that you can't be friendly and joke around and it's, not about having a chip on your shoulder or holding a grudge or anything like that, right? But at the end of the day, yeah, I guess, yeah, you know, yeah, I guess it's just a sort of a sad thing, but something that I can accept. I would rather kind of know where things are at than being naive or just kind of foolish, thinking that things are better than they are when it's like at the end of the day, it's just not what it is. So, and that's okay, because I don't need to control situations or things. It is what it is, and I'm okay with that. So that's a thing. Something else too that is up in my life right now is to do with diet. So I am on a raw food diet and loving it. I have bought more of the implements that are essentially important to have, because if you're going to embrace, say, a diet, you need to have a variety of things that you can eat. And so I bought a dehydrator and and some other things for making cheeses, these like little ring molds and stuff. I already have blenders and this and that, food processors, but yeah, so embracing that. But anyways, so I was doing super well, and then I guess decided or chose to, like I was here, I was there, then I started eating a little bit of cooked food here, then I went to this thing, it was like a parade, and it was Yarrow Days, and which is a town around here, Yarrow, and so and then there was this thing where my buddy's band was playing. It was super cool. And then afterwards, they were giving out free samosas, and I ate one. And then I was thinking, oh wow, yeah, I can eat a little bit of this cooked food. I mean, it's not going to kill me or anything like that. But then I started eating a little bit of popcorn because like, oh well, I'm eating like mostly raw, and then anyways, and I made a soup. It was like beet and carrot soup. I mean, very simple, very brothy, but still it had those cooked foods in it. And I started kind of steaming vegetables, because that's some of the dietary recommendations that come from this yoga school that I'm going to be studying with. Or I suppose I've already started studying with them. And all I can say is that it didn't work for me. I mean, within a very short period of time, I started feeling lethargic again. It was certainly noticeable in my face. I could see like bags under my eyes, and I was just tired looking. Somebody actually said to me, like, oh, you look tired. It was at the end of the day at work, and I was like, I didn't like it. Just put it like that. I put my foot in my mouth. Well, it doesn't matter anyways. But yeah, that's an update on that. Just so now it's back to embracing 100% raw, and just cooked food being only when in a pinch, and avoided as much as possible, because at the end of the day, for myself, my body just doesn't heal when it has cooked food in it. It just doesn't. And so that means that, of course, interferes with a lot of the physical activity that I do. And also because I have been struggling, for what it's worth, with to find the right diet that's appropriate for my makeup, for my like energetic makeup or temperament or dosha. I don't know what they call it in Ayurveda. Anyways, yeah, so that's that, and I think it's all good. I mean, I'll just have, it's just one of those things that you got to learn to embrace more and more. One of the things that I do have for it is a meal plan. I've had this thing back in the day when it was cooked food and stuff like that, but you see all that, it's like fruit, fruit, fruit. I mean, I still consider myself to be a fruitarian. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, having a meal plan which keeps you on track. So it's like, so to prepare certain things to get things ready, so that you're not eating the same meals, anything repetitively, because then, I don't know. I just don't find that that's super enjoyable. So then going forward in time, so I don't forget, I do have a list. Something that's interesting for myself is that I am just within this month, on the 20th, I will be going to New York to do my yoga teacher training, which is huge for me, because with that qualification, I think that I will feel comfortable promoting myself for everything that I have to offer, aside, like yoga, as well as the kind of stuff that we talk about, I talk about here, we talk about, right? And so that's pretty huge. And post that, so I've been in this little room here for I don't know, since like last winter, like October, when I was given this place to live. But it is, the deal was always until June when I go to this thing, and that is now. And so basically, I've been building a van, but it's not done. I've been just busy with everything. I bought tons of parts, water tanks and a fridge and stuff like that, a Dometic fridge, all kinds of things, but haven't put it all together. And so it's not ready. But when I come back from what's it called, from New York, I'm going to not be living here anymore. So this era of I don't know, making videos, because I do make videos in this room, is coming to a end, and I will be moving into my car. I lived in my car for a year prior to moving into here, or more than a year, about a year and a half, and so it's not too big of a stretch. I'm a lot more stable in a lot of things that I'm doing. I'm situated, kind of, so I'm good. And it's just it's going to be for like a month, I think, while I am getting the van ready, because as soon as I get back from New York, I will be putting all of my efforts into that van, so that I can take it to Enliven Wellness Festival on like the beginning of August, which is a super great thing. It's like a pilgrimage for me. Yep. And so that's pretty exciting, moving into a car and then getting the van going. And I must say, I do have some cold feet about it sometimes, because living in a van, living in a car, and of course winter comes again, and on and on and on, but I just, one foot in front of the other, one day at a time, follow your heart kind of mentality, not get psyched out and that kind of stuff. So it's a big thing, certainly coming. I'm really looking forward to making some videos when I'm in New York and about the trip to New York, because that's a big thing that's in my life. It's going to be a big milestone, because post that, I'm going to be starting a business, and I think I'm finally going to be able to step into my own, and certainly when I finish writing my book, that'll be a big milestone for me as well. But yeah, so lots of things going on in life right now. It was something that I actually cut out of one of my last videos, and it was about that I was hanging out at my buddy's place with his kids, and afterwards I realized to myself that and I told this to him because it's funny, right? I like to joke, and so I went up to him at work because he was at the same job site, and I was like, you know what, man? After hanging out with you and your kids, I realized that I don't ever want to have kids. I don't think I ever want to have kids. And that was a huge moment for me because up until that moment, it's always been a maybe, open to it, and even somewhat desirous, right? But because when I was sitting there with him, I had like it just clicked, this idea that I was like, wow, your life in general is largely defined by the fact that you have children. And when I just think about what I'm doing with my life and where I'm going with it, I don't think that is something that makes sense for me. I mean, the other day when I was at this Yarrow Days parade thing, there was a guy there I hadn't seen for a long time. Really cool to see. And he has 3 daughters, and I was honestly, a little envious, jealous, like I love kids. I always wanted, say, like, to have a daughter and stuff like that. And yeah, so, but at the end of the day, yeah, it doesn't make sense, which is interesting because that kind of brings to the next, that's like a segue to the last piece of this puzzle, is that, so, kind of, dovetailing that, with my last girlfriend, we did get pregnant, and we did not, end up having a baby. And I made a video about that. It wasn't my decision, but I supported her in what she chose, was right for herself, and I think that she did choose right. I mean, like I said, I've always wanted to have a daughter, right? But and so the point is, though, is that I've been in a number of relationships with women, and I was married once, and then I have been with a couple of ladies since then. And I think that all of the relationships that I was in had the potential to go the distance, right? But things happened, and we essentially, where we were at individually and collectively, it wasn't time, and so the relationship failed. The last one was right when COVID hit, and it was like all of a sudden a bunch of factors, and yeah, I mean, and it just ended after about 6 or 7 months or something like that. And I've thought about this, and part of it is to do with, when I think about what kind of woman is my type. I do have a type. And I have identified this sort of a woman as they have a very slender back, very petite, neck and back, very slender, similar to myself, I suppose. I mean, but I'm a man, so like much more slender. And, one of the ways that, say, I might describes the type of woman that I find myself attracted to, is that they don't have a masculine bone in their body. I'm attracted to women who are very feminine, who are, yeah, like a double negative, like a woman, like a woman who is like her mother, and her mother is very feminine. So a very feminine individual. And, why that is, I don't know. I mean, one could say just like how women sometimes are attracted to men who in some way resemble their father, not resemble, but because like that is their image of what a man looks like, is so it's, I know that my mother was a very feminine lady as well, dainty, feminine, and stuff like that. And so I don't know, but that's not the point. The point is it dawned on me today that I get the impression that the reason that these relationships failed is because I wasn't man enough at the end of the day, and this is because I am attracted to this type of woman who is very feminine. So very, can be a little not wild, right? But not like there's, I don't know, gender roles and stuff like that. I know some people don't like that kind of stuff, but like for myself as a man, it's important to in a sense provide a sense of security. I mean, and that can be present in a number of ways, of course, like physical security, financial security. I mean, it's important for me to be a provider. I'm not saying that it's like I go out and work and you stay home and do the dishes. That's not at all it, right? But I'm just saying that, like, I think that if you are going to be in a relationship with somebody who does not have a lot of masculine energy, which is about structure, it is about discipline, it is about boundaries and stuff like that. For myself, it's like as a man, I need to be the element that balances that out. I mean, it can't be too much. Yeah, there has to be something which creates a harmony, a balance of energy. And so, yeah, like looking back, I mean, even, yeah, like I've come a long way in the last few years as a man, as a human being, as a person, as an intellectual, as a lot of things. And I can say that, yeah, I would almost say like I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I couldn't be the man that they needed me to be. Because I loved them and they loved me, but I hadn't stepped into my own yet, right? And so I accept that, right? I mean, it's not like I'm sitting here having regrets about anything that's happened, but certainly, yeah, just reflecting on it all. And yeah, I think that's important. I don't know, it's an important thing for me to do, because like I am at a place in my life where I am ready to be in another romantic relationship. Like I don't go looking for them. I don't go on dating sites and stuff like that. It's, when for myself, it's always been when the universe, for what it's worth, delivers a relationship, when it's appropriate, when it's perfect timing, and it just happens, and it. I know women who I find agreeable when I see them. I mean, and they don't seem to mind me either. I mean, I say that's silly, and they seem to enjoy me as well. Yeah. So yeah, that is it. Yeah, not being man enough, but whatever. I think I'm there now. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to make any more videos here. I know I've been talking about this video about masculine energy. And so this still helps along those lines for anybody who actually does watch my videos. And I know I've been hyping that one up, not intentionally, but it's just that it takes I'm just so busy with, I've been writing this essay for my yoga school and it only needed to be 500 words, but I'm a writer, right? And so I'm sitting at about 12,000 words right now, but it's so good. I just do not have any reason to not finish it or to cut it short or to, it's awesome. I think there's pieces of it that will go in my book. It's that good. I unpacked the entire Hindu pantheon, all of the gods and goddesses, and related it to every religion that I'm aware of, like Taoism and Buddhism and Christianity and Hermeticism, and just really, got into some really amazing stuff. I even thought about sharing it on here, just do a reading, which is kind of fun. But we'll see. So, and I'm still not done. I have a few days to get this done. It's just ridiculous, because I've been working on it for months on a piece of writing. But yeah, it is what it is. I am who I am, as I said in my video. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking right now because this is going on. But yeah, I hope, I don't know, anybody who's listening gets something from that.